It's the book of Salakia. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. Going straight to the point, verse 12, and it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ercha, Kodash, Barakatham. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, not more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning, Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations. So let's subscribe to this truth to you. I say Shalom. So Brother Yahweh Sop out of GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant. I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This lesson is in regards to this article that I seen on my Newsbreak app, and it's spiritual too because I did a video about on today is so-called Christmas, which is actually those that are in the know, those that the Lord dealing with, basically they search out things, and we know that Christmas actually has roots that go back to ancient traditions, ancient pagan traditions, Saturnalia and, these different things. And with that being said, I did a video earlier about, it's a guy that I be watching, not like, I come across his videos and sometimes he entertains me because, like I said again, he's sarcastic, so I find it funny, And long story short, it was taking too long to actually upload, so through the Spirit, I didn't know if I should post it or not. So I deleted the upload. And he just was going into, how hard life is getting, And I was posting that today, and then through the Spirit, another video pops up. Because the scriptures talk about how the Most High despises, the feast days and holidays of, these wicked ass people. They think that they're actually doing something righteous when actually they're scriptures talk about follow not a multitude to do evil or wickedness, rough and paraphrase. So majority of the world is participating in this pagan holiday when it has nothing to do with the Bible. In actuality, if you understood the scriptures, you would know the Bible tells you not to participate in this particular day. When you go into the book of Jeremiah chapter 10. So just showing you how the world is pretty much out of course, out of whack. These people really don't understand or care to understand what's going on. People rather be willfully ignorant. Scriptures talk about how I forgot who it was. It was one of the prophets that was speaking. I want to say it was in either Jeremiah or Isaiah. They say prophesy onto smooth things. They rather hear what's pleasing to the ear. They want to hear things of the world. Not that things that are actually sound in the scriptures. Scriptures talk about the Most High having things separated, while the spirit of the world is go along to get along to go along, and all that. Basically, everybody's joined on together. Everybody love everybody, which that's not in the scriptures. So I just found it spiritual that I came across this other article, because I'm pretty sure before tomorrow come, or before the new year come, it's gonna be all kind of articles going into all these different tragedies that's going to take place around these holidays, because they're not biblical. The Lord is not with these days. And that made me think of another scripture when you go into the book of Isaiah. Book of Isaiah chapter 50, book of Isaiah chapter 24, and verse 8, and it says, we'll start at verse 7, and it reads, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry hearted do sigh. And again, when you go into this holiday, not high holy day, because the Bible goes into high holy days. When you go into, you know, these different days that are praised and worshipped in Babylon the Great, aka America, they have nothing to do with the Bible. If in fact they're literally creating more, you know, holidays. You got National Pizza Day and National Hamburger Day, just all these days that's built on making money, that don't really hold any significance or true value, you know. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine, and a strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. People trying to run from their responsibilities. That's why everybody's in this spirit of, getting high. They got drugs out here that wasn't around when I was coming up. They got, because everybody's trying to escape reality. But, the Lord is not going to allow you to escape it, because it talks about how bitter this place is going to be. When you go into the very word of America, just like Egypt, it's bitter. That's another, similarity between the two places, because this place is considered Sodom and Egypt. Either Egypt and America both, held the Israelites in captivity. Skipping down to verse 11, there's a crying for wine in the streets. It's a cry for, the truth, because wine goes into doctrines and philosophies, and, the philosophy of Babylon the Great is do as thou wilt, do whatever makes you feel well, whatever makes you feel good. But in actuality, too much of anything, good or bad, is not good for you. Too much exercise can actually, end up being detrimental. But point being, like, when you just in a spirit, the scriptures talk about when you go into being a disciple, that comes from the root word discipline. We discipline to trying to control our flesh. The scriptures talk about, basically a spirit, or a person that doesn't control his house is like a city that the walls can be easily breached, roughly paraphrased. You gotta control. That's why the scriptures constantly talk about being in the spirit and not in the flesh. Trying to, because your spirit is warned against this flesh. And this is a world that basically is set up on, again, the carnality of doing what you want, by the senses, eyes, what you see, what you can touch, what you can feel. That's why this place is over sexualized. And the funniest part is how the Lord doing it. Either way, if you choose the left hand path or you choose, the righteous path, following Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're gonna have to be disciplined, because these devils, they gave you all these different luxuries, and then they're gonna take them away. When this is all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're gonna suffer either way. You're gonna suffer righteously, or you're gonna suffer, because you chose to be part of the wicked. There's a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And again, right now you got more people suffering right now, especially around these holidays, because this is a time when they promote family. And if you got money, the more you spend shows the amount of care and love you have for the individual. If you didn't buy them anything, that means that something's wrong with you. Not that you can't afford it. It's something wrong with you. So you'll have an individual seeking attention and love. They'll go spend on. I mean, I remember my demon told me that. She said she spent like astronomical amount of money on her children just because of the fact, I mean, that's the spirit that's pumped out. And then she, to show you how cold the Lord is, she was thinking back on it like that was a waste of money. The children couldn't even really enjoy all the shit she bought. But with that all being said, there's another one too, I think, in the book of Amos. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, and point is verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Now that's going into, the Israelites when they were going off, the Lord wasn't really partaking in, the feast, the point of the incense, I can't think of the exact title, but like John the Baptist, his father, basically his job was to burn incense because the Most High God, likes a sweet smelling smoke in his nostril, But when Israel's going off, it's just like the scriptures talk about the prayers of the wicked are detestable to the Most High. He ain't dealing with that. So showing you how again these people are so much under, a heavy delusion, they don't even understand. They're not even truly worshiping the Heavenly Father, the power of the Bible, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They worshiping the commandments of men, an ancient pagan religion, because nobody searches out a thing. They just blindly follow it. And that also shows you how the Most High God, again, ain't dealing with everybody. But, you're going to have stories like this, because people don't even understand, the Most High God can do what he will and what he chooses to do. So people be like, well, what kind of God would do this? But it's will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua tells you in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32. He killeth and he maketh alive. He woundeth and he healeth. This is the book of, this is out of the Newsbreak app. And it says, tragic holiday abduction and stabbing incident shakes Ohio community. Now this is like Christmas Eve. On the so-called birthday of who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You got wars going on the planet right now. They ain't doing no ceasefires because this is in the true Heavenly Father's, birthday, Why would the light of the world be born in the darkest time in history? When you go into December 25th, which is today, and actually, look into it, they say December 25th is the time when the sun is the furthest, or the earth is the furthest from the sun. It doesn't start back in rotation to move closer to it again until December 26th. It says in the quiet Lakewood neighborhood of Ohio, the festive, Lakewood isn't far from us. That's probably like, 10, 15 minutes away from me. But that's more so where Esau, Edom stays while I stay where Jake stay at, And no matter what city you go to, you got areas set up like that. Jake is basically cornered off in the area, And then you got Esau. So it says, in the quiet Lakewood neighborhood of Ohio, the festive season was disrupted by a chilling incident. On December 24th, 2023, an Amber Alert was issued urgently for a missing 1-year-old girl named Choice Walters. Reports state that Choice, a black female with brown hair and eyes, was last seen at her residence on Clifton Boulevard. And that's something I used to work right by Clifton. The situation turned grim when her father was found stabbed and hospitalized in stable condition. Authorities are pointing to the mother, 29-year-old Ariel Walters, as the suspect in both the assault and the abduction of Choice Ariel, who is also a black female with brown hair and eyes, is now wanted under a warrant for attempted aggravated murder. She tried to kill him. With the community in distress, there's a plea for any information that could lead to Choice's safe return. The Lakewood Police Department is asking anyone with details to contact them or call 911 immediately. It says, the heart-wrenching story echoes a larger issue that plagues many communities. So now they got to push the domestic violence situation, which, Cleveland actually has like a no tolerance to this. So they really don't have to push it. But it just just imagine how, now it's rare that they say the woman did it, So we'll see how that turned out. But, we living in a society where, what's that one guy, that one Jake actor that was playing, that played in the Creed movie? that pretty much got convicted of domestic violence, although they got film of him running away. Only in Babylon the Great. But point being, they have a no tolerance for domestic violence in Cleveland, Ohio. So with this being said, I wonder how that will push that agenda. And I wonder how it will work out being it was a female that was involved actually doing the violence. It says this heart wrenching story echoes a larger issue that plagues many communities. The nexus between domestic violence and child abduction. Often these incidents are random but stem from a troubling home environment. Understanding and addressing the complex relationship between domestic violence and child abduction is crucial. It says we need to foster a culture that does not tolerate violence and prioritizes the well-being of children and domestic violence survivors. As a community and a society, we must unite to offer protection, healing, and hope to prevent such tragedies from unfolding in our midst. Okay, so with that being said, but you ain't never gonna be able to shake that. That's just like the video I did earlier today. The one Jake, because he looked like Jake. He may be a terror, the way he acts, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a terror. You gotta remember environment plays a key. That's like somewhat like your true nature gonna always come, stand out. That's why they say you can take the female out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the female. Or you can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga, But at the same time, you got individuals that, I was hearing brothers talking about how Arnold Schwarzenegger, they call him Arnold Schwarzenegger. They thought he was maybe Jake. And his father was a Nazi. So, scripture say Jake is the former of all things, But Salakia, because I'm kind of rambling. Point being, the closer we get to the end, the harder and the more, violent and more, just things are going to be taking place, and I know not only, it reminds me of that incident between in New York where you had the neighbor shot the neighbor and his son, one moment one thing was one way, the next moment he was John Wick. That's how quick the Most High can actually put a spirit out here. That man, a death angel jumped on him, and then the police came and got his ass. So because then they knocked him down. With that all being said, scriptures talk about no rest for the wicked. And it's gonna be more and more and more judgment until the end. The scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble, so it's gonna be a time like never before. Which I got that on deck, but this is the book of Matthew chapter 13, and point is verse 42, and it reads. I'm starting at verse 41, and it reads, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. So, if the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's son, Yahushai Mashiach, who you people arrogantly call Jesus Christ, is righteous, and we living in a place of wickedness, and, pretty much he's going to take over rulership of the planet, what would offend him? The wicked, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, along with Esau, Edom. The heathen are set up for a particular purpose, but Esau, Edom is as well. He was set up to bring in wickedness, and he's going to be set up to basically be the main ones to have to endure hardcore slavery, but then he's also set up to be eradicated because wickedness can't rule righteousness. Scriptures talk about a righteous kingdom forever and ever. So wickedness has to be eradicated. Verse 42, the point, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. When you go into that wailing and gnashing of teeth, it's gonna be, that you ever heard a woman wail? You'll see it when a woman like loses a child, or you know what I mean? Or even men have done it, even though it's more synonymous with women, but when a man has completely lost everything, like that death, men, they might show it in a movie, when a man goes up, he's in war and he just does that, like when Yahweh Shah says he's gonna give a scream, I think of that when I think of that wail. But when you ever seen a woman just broken down when she loses a child or whatnot, you might have seen in movies. I've saw it in real life. That's a indistinguishable, sound. You're like, wow, And gnashing of teeth, that's they crying. That's you ever seen somebody just bawling out, just crying? You've seen children do it. Or like I said, you've seen a mother or a father, somebody that's lost something that's very precious to them. Well, that's suffering. And that's what, the wicked is you're going to get. You're going to pretty much suffering is coming to the earth. That's what the point of Jacob's trouble is, And the thing is, we all going to go through something. It ain't just going to be, the rapture where, just the righteous is going to be, be whisked away, like in actuality, the righteous is going to be built up to be able to endure the suffering. That's why the scriptures talk about he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. The book of Ezekiel chapter 7. I want what is verse to lucky? Point is verse 4. That's the spirit, because my puppy just started whining. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 4, and it reads, my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity. Whose eye will not spare thee? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because again, great suffering is coming to the planet. But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that's plain and simple. It said the Lord gonna do these things because of your abominations, because of the wickedness that you have committed. And thus will you know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, power and evil and only evil behold is come. So evil going into ill times. Evil times is coming. Bad times, hard times. And that's what that video was earlier about. That dude said he literally got 2 degrees, but work at a pizza spot and stay with his parents. And he got like 3 million, if I'm not mistaken, 3 million TikTok followers. So whatever little check he getting, you got to wonder like, damn, what did you really getting? You know what I mean? Now, you got people that are on TikTok and YouTube, that YouTube stars that aren't really like fucked up. You got some people that, I've heard the one little guy, what's his name? MK Slimeball or something like that. He just caught a case. I knew his spirits all on him. Well, this ain't the point of the video, but, he just caught a case and his bond was like, I think 2 million. So he needed 200 bands and he got out of jail. But he got caught up in some shit like, you don't know what this dude was doing. And he always talk about sweet baby Jesus. Ain't that? He was talking about sweet baby Jesus toting pistols on YouTube and TikTok. And then when he get caught up in what he get caught up in, then people surprised. I was not surprised when I heard it. That's what that sweet baby Jesus get you. Sweet baby Jesus, the pastor say, sweet baby Jesus, and the pastor be touching the little boys up in there. That's what that Jesus spirit get you. But, that really astonished me. And that's why I did a video on that earlier. Because like I said, again, he just was in the spirit. He just came out. He's like, shit. He say, life is getting harder. You know what I mean? You got people sitting up there complaining about, talk about how your living situations is. He said you would need to be making like $75,000 a year in order to really be maintaining your own household, because you got to pay for your car note. You got to pay, we ain't even talking about gas and all that. You talking about your rent, your insurance, all these different things. He said You really got to be making like $30 an hour, which is $60,000 a year. But he said with all those other things included, that's like 75,000. So that's like $38 an hour, which we live in an economy where these people don't even want to pay you $20. So yeah, again, we coming into times of great suffering. So I'm going to end the lesson with this. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 14, point is verse 16. Well, I'm going to read up because this is what the mindset the elect, the Lord, chose individuals with certain spirits, or he shows certain spirits to come in the last days to be able to endure everything that's about to take place. Again, you got this certain doctrine like a rapture doctrine where you got individuals talking about they not about to go through nothing. No, what makes the elect better than fine gold is they going to be able to go through what the world going through and never lose their faith. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 14. Let go from these mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. So let go of the thoughts of worrying about what's going to take place, how you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, where you're going to live. Because the scriptures talk about being as pilgrims. The scriptures talking about those that trust in the Lord are going to eat. The Lord is going to provide. And all the brothers that, do the will and work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua have testimonies to actually, strengthen their faith, to be able to say they know the Lord dealt with them, they trust the Lord going to do these things in the time of need. I was listening to, I remember at one point in time, the elder Yashawamba from Dallas, the beloved elder, was going into, I think the elders in Chicago, somebody just did a video. No, it was actually the elders in Dallas. The elders in Dallas was going into, you can't trust or rely on more carnal thoughts. You're gonna have to be spiritually like locked in spiritually, because all these things, like I say, that are carnal, the Lord is more than likely going to take away. Not can, he's going to. You may have certain individuals that have this or have that, but for the most part, I noticed something in the truth. You'll have brothers that you may have a few brothers that's doing well or maintaining while you'll have some brothers catching hell. For whatever reason, the Lord, I notice, tends to do that. That's the balance of it, because the scriptures talk about the Most High being balanced. But what happens when nobody has nothing? And, and a lot of brothers say they're ready for that. And, I've been catching hell for 2 months, and it's like the Lord ain't letting up. So, I'm hoping that everybody prepared for, I hope the Lord started January 1st. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If that be his will. Because, again, I understand it's not going to get easier. Brother did a lesson on that. It's not going to get easier. As you can see, the state of the world is getting worse. It's waxing colder and colder, like I brought out in Matthew chapter 24. Verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to fly from these times. Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those that which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And that's the point of Jacob's trouble, All the times, all the evil days that's actually been ever on the planet, this time is going to be worse than any other time ever. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rachakudasmakatam. The honors of my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teach and do rule well. Jesus' salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and our freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Agua for listening and learning, Lord, willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. So next time I'm able to come with another lesson, say shalom, shalom, and wa rahmatullahi shalom.